Thank you for offering to do this.
Absolutely.
This is part of a kind of a series we're doing where students kind of share aspects of their program. And I think what's very interesting at the moment is what's happening in relation to the Scottish Parliament and the UK Parliament and Europe, where on Wednesday Article 50 is going to be triggered. That is then going to lead to Scotland and the UK leaving Europe. And then I think tomorrow there's going to be a debate in the Scottish Parliament. It's going to finish the debate that started last week concerning how Scotland sits in relation to that. So it's really just an opportunity to kind of talk to the world, people who just don't know anything about Scotland and Britain and Europe and kind of what's actually happening. So Kat, do you want to introduce yourself?
Alright, so do I like to speak to you?
Yes.
Okay, so, hi, I'm Catherine Faulkner, and I'm an intern in the Parliamentary Internship Program, and I'm working for Richard Lockhead, who is a member of the SNP.
And you're studying at?
Sitting at Arcadia University. Yeah.
So that's great. So thank you. So maybe a nice place to start is Article 50 and Europe. What's happening with Britain and Europe? So what's going on with this?
It's, I mean, at least from the Scottish perspective, it's just kind of very, I don't know, just it seems like a little bit of a messy situation that's kind of unfolding with Brexit vote that happened last June, and there's just like a lot of like resistance, and there's lots of like fears that the economy, I think, is going to be really impacted by leaving the EU, and
so what was the Brexit referendum?
Brexit. Well, okay. In last June, all over the UK, citizens voted to either stay with the European Union or leave it, and the majority voted to leave, except Scotland. The majority of Scottish wanted to stay because they highly benefit from EU ties and with economics and culture, and also with having EU workers and migrants coming over. And yeah, so like right now, I guess they're just trying to like negotiate how they're gonna really navigate kind of like a post-Brexit world of like a major European country leaving a supranational organization that is supposed to be beneficial and supposed to like represent all this unity, but now you're taking away a major player, and we're going to see.
So why do you think Britain voted to leave?
Well, from I guess my studies, it seems like kind of the UK has could have been Eurosceptic for a while, and they feel that being in the EU kind of takes away their sovereignty to make important decisions on the economy and immigration specifically, and they want the power back from what it seems like, and they were, I guess, very fearful with the current migration and refugee crisis in mainland Europe that like it's going to come over here and ruin the culture for a lot of people. They're afraid it's going to take away jobs, and it's just going to change everything.
But then Scotland voted 62% to 38% to remain in Europe. So why do you think the Scots voted so heavily to stay in Europe?
They benefit from it. They need the population from Europe, and a lot of like the agricultural industry. They have like a lot they work with a lot of different countries within that realm, and I guess losing those ties is going to hurt Scottish farmers, and it's going to I think really impact kind of the decreasing population currently that Scotland is facing.
Okay, so tied to the European question of political sovereignty and connection was, of course, the common trade area and the single market. So it's that's presumably a part of it, was having that. And then I suppose with Article 50, do you want to explain what Article 50 is?
Article 50, pretty much from my understanding, I haven't actually read, I usually like to physically read actual text, but from my understanding is that it gives the right for any European country to leave the EU if they feel like it's not serving them. Yeah.
So it's going to trigger 2 years of negotiations.
Yes.
And then after those 2 years, if it's not satisfactory, they can presumably extend the negotiations, or at that point we will we'll lose the common trade area and we'll resort to World Trade Organization business or economic relations with Europe at that point. But I suppose it's kind of a big unknown. So in Scotland you have so a very large majority voting to stay in Europe, but then the whole of Britain is voting to leave. So the Article 50 being triggered on Wednesday. So what is going on in the Scottish Parliament at the moment?
I mean, since Brexit, a lot of, especially SNP, they've been really pulling for a second referendum. And about, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago, Nicola Sturgeon announced that there was going to be a second referendum. And
so Nicola Sturgeon is
the First Minister of Scotland. She's great. She just announced to the Scottish Parliament and the world that Scotland, they want to have a choice now, because I mean, leaving the EU is not what they wanted, the majority of what they wanted. So now I mean, since then, pretty much everyone, all of Parliament's just been fighting about this Scottish referendum and whether or not it's good, especially with kind of the uncertainty of Brexit. A lot of the Tories and Labour feel that separating from the UK when there really isn't a solid plan about Brexit would, I think, hurt Scotland a lot, while the SNP feel like this is the time now to be able to reclaim their right to choose and to be able to work with the EU and start working on being their own member of the EU.
On this poses a challenge for the SNP. The polling, are you aware of what public opinion is like in Scotland at the moment? Or
it depends on what your source is. From my understanding and what I've looked at, it's kind of...
Is it a slam dunk for independence there?
Not necessarily. It's usually kind of closer, 10% kind of gap between leaving and not leaving. I feel like it just fluctuates all the time.
So what happened in the last referendum in 2014?
Yeah, so Scotland voted to stay, and they warned, I guess, Westminster that if there was going to be a Brexit, or a referendum where they, leaving the EU, that they would probably seek a referendum again, even though the whole Scottish referendum the first time was supposed to be a once in a lifetime kind of deal. So
yeah, it was in the SNP put it in their manifesto before the election. If there was a significant material change in circumstances, they would bring the question of another referendum to the Parliament, and then that was in the SNP manifesto when they got elected. But do they hold a majority in the Scottish Parliament, right?
Currently, they're one of the main parties.
They're the largest party.
And I guess they work with the Greens and.
So there's a current majority that will probably almost certainly pass the vote for a second referendum in the Parliament, but only with the help of the Green Party, 6 MSPs. Yeah. So then that will then constitute kind of majority. So I think the interesting thing is for the SNP is that the polls are pretty close, 50-50, maybe slightly more in favour of union than independence, if you're down to 2 or 3 points, kind of within those margins. So it's certainly, if the SNP were to hold the referendum and lose it, that would be a tremendous risk for their goal of Scottish independence. So certainly I get the sense that Nicola Sturgeon feels this is almost a duty, that it's irrespective of the polls. She thinks that just given their pledge, their manifesto pledge, even if they think it may be a disaster for the SNP in the future, that it has to be held to give the Scottish people a chance to kind of reset their constitutional kind of position. But then I guess the quite strong economic arguments perhaps for either not holding a referendum or even the risk of independence. How do you think the economic arguments play?
Well, I don't know. I feel Brexit in general. I think they projected that the Scottish GDP is going to go down 2 to 5%, and that worries a lot of Scottish people. So I guess the economic issues with having a second referendum on top of also trying to, I guess, deal with the uncertainty of Brexit on the Scottish economy. that like, you know, a lot of like, especially S&P think that like oil will kind of be the way they're going to be able to kind of break away from the UK and being able to like offer something new to, I guess, the EU when it comes to like commercial ties.
Yeah.
And
so the national debt of Scotland is quite high relative to other EU countries. So it's sometimes cited as a significant percentage in terms of what the government spends and what it takes in.
Mm-hmm.
Oil did play a central role in the previous referendum.
Yes.
And at that point it was projected to kind of go up to $110 a barrel in terms of the economy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's currently around about $45 per barrel, 40. So it's a tricky one, oil, because it's actually technically at this point it's not actually bringing in any revenue because of the cost of extraction, and then the tax breaks that are given to the industry to try and sustain it. So I think it'll be a challenge for the S&P to use oil. Some figures within the S&P I think say we're not going to talk about oil this time.
Yeah.
But then there are other aspects to energy production in Scotland through renewable energies,
Yes.
wind.
Which the Green Party always tries to keep with the S&P, just like we need to focus on this rather than fracking and everything. So
which is an interesting it was an interesting decision that the Green Party took in the previous referendum, where they had a meeting like, were they going to support independence or were they not? So is the project of a kind of a larger, kind of inclusive perspective on renewables, or was independence the way to sustain renewable energies within Scotland? And then at that point they decided that independence was their best option. So the Scottish Parliament will almost certainly pass to get I think it's a Section 30 order where Westminster will then give the Scottish Parliament permission to hold a referendum. What's the problem there though?
Theresa May has made it public that she does not want.
And who's Theresa May?
Oh, she is the Prime Minister of the UK, and she's kind of made it certain that she does not believe in Scottish independence and that she's not going to grant it. But I mean, Holyrood's wishes. So I guess we'll.
Well, she was a bit clever. She didn't quite say she wasn't going to grant it. She said now is not the time. So there was kind of a finger wagging.
Exactly. I know for a lot of people, like especially in my office, they're just like, she's gonna, try to make it kind of difficult for us to get.
But can the Westminster Parliament just say no to the will of the Scottish Parliament? Who's got the mandate here? Is it the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, or is it the Scottish Parliament reflecting the will? Well, you might have a view on that.
Yeah, exactly. It might be a little skewed, but yeah.
What do you think the arguments are either way? So what's the argument for Theresa May?
Well, I mean, right now going back to Brexit, that's kind of the constant theme. I feel like the Brexit and the Scottish referendum right now kind of go hand in hand. I know her argument is that, like, again, better together, kind of like this, we need to stick together because if we all, just to navigate how Brexit is going to go, again, like, economically, culturally, and politically. I mean, if
so that's the priority, and then having the United Kingdom together will help her carry through those negotiations.
And if you start having, Scotland leaving, then you might have Northern Ireland possibly leave. And then, I mean, I was talking to someone, they were saying even Wales had some independence movements going on as well. So, I mean, it could kind of mean like the
disintegration. It's the independence movement.
Yeah. So I guess kind of this disintegration of the UK possibly. But I mean, that's probably more of an extreme circumstance.
So what's the argument that the Scottish Parliament has the mandate to hold the referendum?
I believe it's like within the Scotland bills that they've made in the past several years with devolution. They're increasing their power to be able to make their own, decisions and to kind of take care of their own cultural affairs because they feel that like England's needs don't reflect their needs at all. And I know they feel like they have the right to make their own decisions on their own affairs. And
so it's an argument for self-determination.
Yeah.
I always think the parallels to the American situation I find fascinating.
Yeah.
I think back to the time of George Washington when he said, okay, taxation without representation, time to go forth and become a new country. Do you think that's, I just
Yeah.
like that as a parallel and a metaphor part of what I do professionally. Do you think they're disanalogies or analogies? Is it just a completely different context, or do you think the right to self-determination
Yeah,
is important here?
I think it definitely is important here. I mean, if you feel like, your government isn't representing you in your own country, I think you definitely deserve to, I guess, self-determination. I believe that with, several of the different, European countries. I think, like, with the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, they feel like, their government doesn't represent them, and culturally it doesn't, it's completely different. So I feel like, going back to Scotland, that they have, absolutely, I feel like Westminster oftentimes kind of like, doesn't listen to the Scottish MPs as much as, they should, and I feel like, sorry, probably this sounds a little convoluted, yeah, it's definitely, I think, if you think about, like, America's past, that, sorry, I'm, like, messing this up, and I just feel like, if you want to be your own country, you should be your own country.
It's an interesting, I think the disanalogies are clearly very interesting as well.
Yeah.
Clearly the Scottish people have representation within the UK Parliament through the members of Parliament,
Yeah.
and they have representation with the devolved powers within their own Parliament. So it becomes, I think, a very interesting values question as to, to what degree does Scotland, that question of self-determination, is it a feeling that Scotland is heading as a different set of values as a nation that can't be represented by a Westminster Parliament in some way? So it's, do you think, what do you think the arguments are either way there? Do you think Scotland as a nation has a different set of interests from the UK as a border, or what the arguments? I kind of gave the argument not that we have representation within the Parliament.
Exactly.
So what would be the argument for diverging values?
I just, it's, I don't know, it's like, I guess, it's just a different, cultural mindset. I feel, especially I think with Brexit, England, I think, is going towards more of maybe an isolationist kind of view, while, Scotland wants to be more international and wants to, interact with everybody, and obviously there's, cultural differences, that date back, long before. There's always been that, this English, Scotland kind of history of butting heads, and I feel like, I just feel like, it's persisted this long, and I think politically, it's still there, whereas Scotland doesn't feel like they're being served correctly, so they want to, take the reins, and I think it's, they totally should, so.
There's interesting, so you think of history lays out a kind of a path of nationhood for Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's absolutely fascinating. So tomorrow, are you going to get a Parliament, do you think, tomorrow?
Yes.
At the end of the debate?
Yeah, I know the last debate, my MSP actually spoke, and he did this really fantastic speech on, employment, and I think what the impact of Brexit would be on Scotland, and that's why Scotland should go for independence.
What aspect of employment was he talking
Employment,
about?
that's just
employment law, or just general numbers, or
well, that people that are currently in that are EU members who are living in Scotland, they feel that they're going to suffer because of Brexit. They're going to be forced to leave, and that's going to kind of cause a brain drain, I think, within Scotland. And they need the population, and they need skilled workers from all over to help boost up the economy and keep it going. Richard kind of just talked about how Brexit is going to limit the people who can come in to Scotland and positively contribute to the economy and to the society, and it's just going to be, Brexit's just going to be detrimental for Scotland and for its future.
And that's all controlled by the Westminster Parliament.
Exactly.
So all questions of immigration and access. So, and that was in the run-up. Nicola Sturgeon did lay out some possibilities. One of those was for Scotland to have its own set of, to be able to stay in the single market, to also potentially manage these kinds of questions of immigration. But those are all potentially powers that are centralised in Westminster. So here's the question, are you having fun? Is it exciting? Is it exciting to be in the Scottish Parliament while this is taking place?
Absolutely. I mean, I love working with Mr. Lockhead, and I feel like, I don't know, it's really exciting. Like every day to just wake up and be like, I'm going to work at the Scottish Parliament, and I don't know, I feel like it's such an exciting time to kind of like witness this history, and I feel like also as like a foreigner and an American student who right now back home is a little crazy.
Issues going on.
Absolutely. So
it's showing you a different political world, really.
Absolutely.
But there are connections as well. But you're seeing it from a very different kind of frame, I suppose.
Absolutely, and I know it's just kind of nice to know that there's like, there's a government that's, can really represent its people on a more direct level, and that this possibly big change is being done. I'm kind of more of like more in a direct democracy kind of way. I know it's more, they're representing their regions and everything, but compared to Westminster, it's,
Are you finding the Scottish people quite engaged with the political situation?
Absolutely. I've had a lot of great, conversations, and it's just nice to see the, varying opinions on independence and on Brexit, and also their take on American politics, and relating it back to each other. It's been fun, and it makes me kind of more determined when I get back to the U.S. to maybe not participate more in like local government and state government activities. And
you see how a parliament can actually work for people through a democratic forum. I think the Scottish Parliament's very good for that, isn't it? And of course all the leaders are women in the Scottish Parliament. Is that surprising to see the debates?
It's awesome. Oh my God, like how inspiring, and I know, it's exciting, and I've been up to Nicola Sturgeon's headquarters several times, and it feels like the air is different. It's like a strong female presence. It's exciting. Do
you think America's got something to learn perhaps from that?
Absolutely. I feel like not only just women, but also minority representation too. I think definitely needs to go up, and I feel I know, especially just seeing again, all the main major parties being led by women here is just exciting, and I hope maybe one day soon that America can catch on and make that happen. So
that's great.
yeah.
Kat, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for